afternoon. That's the Capitani Mountain in New Mexico. And I'm in the Capitani Mountain Wilderness area, right on the edge here of the Boca Campground. I found this on iOverlander, and this one turned out to be a gem. I'm back down there in trees. I come over here to get a look at the mountain, see if there's a better campsite. There's cows running loose out here. I don't see them now. I saw some elk on the way in here, just maybe a quarter of a mile out. They were running. I didn't get a picture of them. They were 4 females. That is a beautiful view. I'm at about 6,300 feet. It's hot in the sun, but it's actually quite comfortable in the shade. I think it's 81, 82-ish, somewhere in there. But in the shade with the wind, it feels quite good. It's been very relaxing to me. It's I just found out down in Roswell, it's monsoon season here. And right over there, it's been thundering out of those clouds. Just right in front of my face, just a few miles, there's flood warnings. Flood warnings over there, and I'm under flood watch right here until midnight. That stuff to the south of me is getting closer. I just heard thunder down that way. I am in Lincoln County, where Billy the Kid and Lincoln County Wars and all that took place. And the town of Lincoln is just a few miles down the road. I drove through there, but I didn't stop and take pictures or anything. I might go back there in the morning. I heard it again. You may not have. Might need to put a tarp or something up. I don't know if you can see that. That come in pretty fast. I've been watching these storms roll by for a while. My entertainment out here. I've got one bar cell phone signal. That wind feels so good right here in the shade. I am thoroughly enjoying this. I hate hotels. I'd rather be out here. But they're a necessity at times. So, Oklahoma City to Clovis, New Mexico was miserable for me. I was up most of the night. I described that in another video if I publish it. But I was up a lot at night. I'd already kind of lost my appetite and was kind of feeling bad. And I started through the Great Plains, and I started hitting headwinds and side winds, and it was gusting bad, pushing trucks sideways. I was behind one camper for a while I thought was going to go over, but it didn't. It made it, but it was leaning. If you've ever driven a motor home, you know they're like sails. They just pick the wind up like crazy. I'm sure those big trucks do too. Never drove one of them though. But I fought that. And the heat, it was like a blast door open or so. It was just waves of hot. It wasn't warm, it was hot. It was well above 100 degrees. I had this little cooling scarf on. I couldn't find my vest when I left. And yeah, I made it through it with this cooling scarf. and it's still feeling good right now. So I went to Clovis, and I felt awful when I checked in there. Planned on leaving the next day, and about checkout time I was still feeling bad, and I realized I had lost a prescription in Oklahoma City. So I had to go to a drugstore and get them to contact my pharmacy at home and kind of get a little emergency prescription of pills. And by that time, it was past checkout time, and I'd already told him I was going to stay another day. What else? Stupid seemed a little off. I mean, the wind definitely had an effect on it. If I hit a gust going uphill, I would have to put it down in fourth gear just to maintain 60 miles an hour. And I was like 58, 5,900 RPM, I think, to do that. It wasn't redlined, but I was able to do that until mostly the gusts got by, or I got over the top of the hill and I would get back up to 70. I mostly cruised about 70 miles an hour all the way out here. So I got back from the drugstore. I didn't have any luggage or bags on it. They were still in the room. I went ahead and topped the gas off for today and went in, drank some water. I don't know, maybe I was in there 20, 30 minutes, and I was going to put a fuel additive in the Himalayan gas tank. And I had recently fixed the problem with the evap system. I had busted my old one after denting that skid plate several times. I got a strong one on there now, it don't dent. But I put it back on there right before my last North Carolina ride. And I was testing it on the way. It done fine. I didn't have any issues with it. I listened for pressure when I opened the gas tank to fill up, and it seemed to be working fine. I like the evap system because if you drop the back, no gas spills. They're not supposed to anyway. But anyway, I went out there and I cracked that gas cap to pour the fuel additive in it, and there was like a geyser of gas. It just shot up and come down all over the bike, on the pavement, on me. And it was 0.5, it was just under 0.6 gallons. I think it was 0.597 or something like that. Going back up to that little marker thing inside the tank that you're supposed to fill it to. So all that gas came out instantly with a lot of noise too. I was surprised at the noise. A gentleman come running over wanting to know what it was, and I told him my gas tank blew up. He started backing up, and I explained I just opened it up and this gas went everywhere. So me and him got looking over down in there with a flashlight. That gas was bubbling. It was boiling, and you couldn't touch metal on the bike anywhere. It was that hot. It showed on the instrument cluster of the Himalayan later after all that dried out. Went back out there to work on it, and it showed 117 degrees on that thing. I don't know how accurate that was, but I know you couldn't touch any metal on the bike at all. You would turn it loose. And that gas tank was so hot that that gas was literally kind of a low boil in there. There were bubbles, bubble, 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 and they were maybe a ½ inch in diameter bubbles. That was real spooky. But I had to wash my clothes by hand, me feeling bad, and get out there and work on the bike. I took the hose loose and tried to blow back into the evap system, and I couldn't blow into it at all. It's something happened to it where maybe it just got overloaded with fuel. I don't know. But I cut the hose and I've got it hanging down down the back of the engine, and so now it can vent down there. Got chilly last night or this morning. Rained pretty good. Tarp's wet, and the motorcycle cover. I'm hoping the sun will dry them out a little bit before I go. Probably do it real fast. And I'm making coffee. Silver City, New Mexico. I'm supposed to be up there. Right there. 12 foot. Tell I'm going downhill. It's already back up to 101. I might have to cut this trip short. My doctor contacted me. Nurse did, and wanted me to go to the hospital for some tests because of some blood tests I had already. I sent a message out yesterday trying to find out how important it is, and if it could wait. I haven't heard a word back. The Gila National Forest. Looks like today's rain is already forming. Where I came from. That's where I'm going. There's the rain getting closer. guardrails. Well, there's one right there, I think. This is Mongolian, New Mexico. Oh, how cool is that? This is a nice place. Kind of looks mostly abandoned, but this road's been rough in places. Several small water crossings. Wasn't expecting it to be so rough on this green route. I stopped here to put the camera up. It's starting to rain. I may just camp here. Yep, it's coming down. Oh, I'm at 9,000 feet in the Gila National Forest. Gila, however you say that. Oh man, I got a bug bite, I think. Camped right over there, right beyond the stumps. And Stupid's right there. And it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna get in the tent. I say it was at 9,000 feet. Air conditioning.